bigger numbers today. So you are still going to need your whiteboard out, and hopefully if you have it, 2 different colored markers or pencils, whatever you got, so we can be working, of course, with our 10s and our 1s. So let's check out our new learning target today and how we're bumping up our skip counting skills. Dun, dun, dun. It says, I can skip count up to 200 using 1s and 10s with drawings. So we're still working with our drawings to represent our values of 1s and 10s that we're counting, but we're upping the ante and we're working all the way to 200. That means we are working with 3-digit numbers, numbers that have a hundreds, a 10s, and a 1s place. So we're going to have to pay even extra attention to make sure we're changing the correct value. So, do you have your whiteboard out? Because we are going to get started right away. So, our first challenge altogether is we're going to skip count from 100 to 124. So we're going to start at 100 and we need to get all the way to 124, the quickest way possible by using 1s and 10s. Using the combination of both is going to get us the quickest and most accurate way. So, of course, we got to start with our starting line. So, can you write our starting point 100 at one side of the board, 100? Okay, so we got to decide on a game plan first. If we want to get to 124, do we want to start with our 10s and our 1s? We can start either way, but which one do you want to start with? Our 1s? Okay, let's start with our 1s. So I'm going to get my blue 1 pen out, and we're going to start counting by 1s and find out the quickest way. So Super Scholars, how many 1s are in the number 100? How many 1s? There's 0. So if we're going to add 1, our number will be 100. 1, keep going. 100. 2, and then 100. 3, and 100. 4, and then, do we want to pause? Let's think. If I keep counting by 1s, it's going to take me forever. So if we look at 104, and we look at 124, what's the same between these two numbers? What's the same? They have the same amount of 1s. 104 1s, 124 1s. So if 104 has the same amount of 1s as their destination number, what's going to be the quickest way to get there now? What is the only place we have yet to change? Our 10s. All we need to do is go from 0 10s to 2 10s. So what do we want to switch to counting by now? By 10s. That's going to get us there the quickest way. So I switched my marker for red because we're now going to be counting by 10s. So if I add a 10 and I have 0 10s, what am I going to have now? 100, 14, 0 10s to 110, and then keep going, another 10, 124, there we go. We matched our destination. We got where we needed to go. Awesome job. So let's count exactly what we did. I want you to do it with me. How many 1s did we count? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. How many 10s? 1 10, 2 10s. Exactly. Look, we went from 100 to 124 by counting up 4 1s and 2 10s. Okay, are you ready to try it the other way? So everybody, reset your board. I'm doing it too. Erase, erase. So we just started with the 1s, so now we got to start counting with the 10s. It's super important that we can skip count 2 different ways. because that grows our mental math toolbox twice as much. Being able to do anything in math multiple ways is going to set you up so much better as we're growing our skills. So, let's start with the tens. Good to know. Okay, this time, how many tens are in 100? How many tens? 0. There's 0 tens. So if I'm going to add a 10, I'm now going to have 110 exactly, and then 120. Good job. Do I want to keep going? Do I want to add another 10? No, I don't, because look, I'm going to go past where I need to go, and we don't want to make that happen. We want to stay on track. So, if I can't add another 10, what do I need to switch to counting? What do I need to switch to counting? We need to now count by the ones. From 120 to 124, that's going to get us there quickest. So, if I'm going to add a 1, we'll now have 120, 1, keep going, 120, 2, 120, 3, 120, 4, there we go, awesome job. Okay, so look at that. We skip counted 2 different ways. Let's make sure it's the same. So, how many tens did we count? Can you hop with me? 1 10, 2 tens. How many ones? 1, 2, 3, 4. Exactly, the same as 2 tens and 4 ones. Awesome job, keep working on those skills. Remember, the huge important part is being able to figure out when we need to switch between our tens and ones. So, let's do another problem all together. I want everybody to reset their board. The whole thing, erase, everything, because we're going to do a new one. Okay, let's see what it is. So this time, we're going to start at 124, but we're going to get all the way up to 200. So we're going from 124 to 200. So, let's make a new starting point. 124. There we go. We've got 100, 2 tens, and 4 ones. And we're trying to get to 200s. So, how do you want to start? Do we want to start with the ones or the tens? What do you think? The tens. We're going for the tens this time. So that means I'm going to get my red marker out. And we're going to start counting by tens. Okay, so how many tens do we have right now in 124? How many tens are there? 2 tens. So this 2 tens is what's going to increase every time we add a 10. So, one more 10 will be 134, and then 144, and 154, then 164, 174, 184, 194. Do I want to keep going? Wait, let's check. 194, but I want to get to 200. If I add another 100, I'm going to get 204. Is that going to work? No, that's not going to work. We're going to go past where we need to go. So, if I'm at 194, the closest I can get by counting by tens, what do I need to switch to get to 200? What's our new game plan? Counting by ones, of course. We need to count by ones to finally reach our goal. So, right now, how many ones do we have? We have 4 ones. So this 4 is what's going to be changing. Okay, here we go. 195, keep going. 196, 197, 198, 199. Oh, this is a big jump. What comes after 199? 200. Here we go, 200. We got to our goal. Would you look at that? So that took us a lot longer than our last problem, but this was still the quickest way because we were able to count by ones and tens and figure out when to switch. So let's count the path and see exactly what we did. How many tens did we count? Can you hop with me? 1 10, 2 tens, 3 tens, 4 tens, 5 tens, 6 tens, 7 tens. Good job. How many ones? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that was our quickest path. 7 tens and 6 ones. Awesome, awesome job. So, are you ready to try it in reverse? Try to find that second way and grow our math toolbox. So everybody, reset, reset. Here we go. Reset, reset. Okay. So we started with the tens first. So what are we going to try now? Starting with our good old ones. Good job. So in 124, how many ones are there? There's 4 ones. So this is the place value that's going to change. So here we go. Adding a 1, we're going to get 125, 126, 127, 128, 129. What comes after 29? 130, 130. That's a tricky part right here. 29 to 30. Ooh, let's check out where we got to. 130. This looks like a nice, simple tens number. One of those awesome tens that we always try to get to make problems simpler for ourselves. So if I'm at this nice, beautiful tens number, do I want to keep going with my ones and make it more confusing? No, if I'm at a beautiful tens number, I want to stop there. So now we have to think, what's the quickest way to get from 130 to 200? The quickest and the simplest? Counting with our tens, of course. Our simple tens is where we want to get to if we want to count by tens. So right now we've got 3 tens. Dun, dun, dun. If we add a 10, we're going to have 140 and then 150. Keep going. 160 and 170. Then 180, 190 and 200. There we go. Be careful. 190. We're going to go up to 200. Woo! Good job doing that for a whole second time. Let's check again to make sure it was just as quick. Here we go. I want you to hop with me. How many ones? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 ones. How many tens? 1 10, 2 tens, 3 tens, 4 tens, 5 tens, 6 tens, 7 tens. Awesome. Would you look at that? We got there just as quick with 6 ones and 7 tens. So we're going to do one more problem together, and I really, really want you to try be working on your own. When do we need to switch between the tens and the ones? Okay, math detectives, let's take a look. Okay, so it's now time for our this or that to give our little math brains a break. So come on, stand up, 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 and I have a silly little this or that for you. Are you up? So, would you rather eat a banana peel? If so, you're going to do 5 jumping jacks. Or would you rather eat an apple core? If so, you're going to do 5 high knees. So you got to pick one. Would you rather eat a banana peel or an apple core? What do you think? I'm going to choose an apple core because I actually have a friend who already does that. So I'm going to do 5 high knees. Are we ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Moving our bodies. So let's come right back down to our whiteboards and settle our bodies so we can do one last challenge together. Okay, awesome people. So this is up next. We are going to skip count from 85 to 120. We're going to skip count from 85 to 120. So before anything else, we need to write our starting line. So let's go ahead. Can you write 85 right here? That's going to be our starting point. Okay, so how do we want to start counting? With our 10s or our 1s? With our 1s? Okay, let's give it a shot. So I have my blue 1s marker out. So we're going to start counting by 1s, and we're going to determine when do we need to switch to counting by 10s. So how many 1s do we have right now? How many 1s in 85? 5. There's 5 1s. So one more will be 86, and then 87, 88, 89. What comes after 89? 90. 90. Good job. Ooh, look what 90 is. Is 90 one of those nice, simple 10 numbers? Yes, it is. This is one of our dream numbers in math that we love to find because it makes things simpler. So, if we got to a nice, beautiful 90, what's going to be the quickest way to go from 90 to 120? What's going to be quickest? To count by 10s, of course. That's why we love to get to 90 anyways. So, let's start counting by 10s until we reach 120. So we have 9 10s. One more will be 10 10s, which is 100. And then 110, 11 10s, and 120, 12 10s. Look at that. We got to our destination. Good job. And we got there the quickest way. And exactly, how did we do that? Let's see. How many 1s did we count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 1s. How many 10s? 1 10, 2 10s, 3 10s. Awesome. We counted 5 1s and 3 10s. Much quicker than last time. But do you have your eraser out? Are you ready to find that second way we can get there? Here we go. Let's find it, detectives. Reset, reset. Da-da-da. Okay, so we started with the 1s, and now let's start with our 10s and see what happens. So if now we're going to count with our 10s, da-da-da, how many 10s are there in 85? 8. So this 8 is what's going to be changing. So right now we have 8 10s and 5 1s. One more 10 will be 95. Ooh, this is tricky. We have 9 10s and 5 1s. We're going to add a 10. What's 10 more? 10 10s and 5 1s, which is what number? 105. Keep going. Can you add another 10? 115. Look, we went from 0 to 110. 115. Ooh, do I want to add another 10? 125. Do I want to add another 10? No, because we're going going past our number. So we know we no longer are able to count by tens. If we can't count by tens anymore, what's going to be the quickest way to get from 115 to 120? What do we need to do? We need to count by ones, of course. So, how many ones do we have right now? 5 ones. So what happens if we add one more? We're going to have 100, 16, and then 100, 17, 100, 18, 100, 19, and then what comes after 100? 19. What comes next? 100, 20. There we go. 120, where we need to get to. So Super Scholars, you did an awesome job counting a second way. Let's check how many times we hopped. So how many tens? Can you do it with me? 1 10, 2 tens, 3 tens. How many ones? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Awesome. This time we started with 3 tens and then counted 5 ones. Awesome job. We're using the same skills that we've been working on all week. Really trying to find as detectives, when do we need to switch? By counting from tens to ones or vice versa. That's when you really have to pay attention to what number you have versus what number you need to get to. So now you're of course going to try these super awesome skills all on your own and evaluate where you're at in your learning. So let's check out what you've got to do. So this is your task, Super Scholars, to work on your own for skip counting. You are going to count from 120 to 193. So you're going to start at 120 and you're going to count by tens and ones all the way to 193. Remember, you can pick whatever way you want to start with first, but you have to use ones and tens to find the quickest way. And just like we did yesterday, you are going to practice skip counting at 2 different levels. First up, everybody's going to skip count with drawings or skip count writing out the numbers. So you're going to write out 120 and mark each number you are counting as you get up to 193. When we're drawing and writing our numbers, it's preparing us for our next step, and it also allows us to check ourselves and see where we're going and see if we need to make any changes. Once that is done and you have successfully drawn or written out your skip counting, then everybody's going to test themselves in part 2, and you're going to work to skip count on your own. So you're going to have already drawn out all the numbers and practice skip counting, so that everyone's going to challenge themselves and cover the numbers or look away and practice skip counting without a tool. Just check in with yourself if you can do this skill in your head, or how much more you need to work on to get there. So everyone in their video that they're going to show me on Class Dojo, you're going to skip count, both with a drawing first, and then second on your own, just to test yourself a little bit and see where you're at. It's okay if you make a mistake here on part 2, as long as you try and go back and correct yourself, because that is how you're going to grow your awesome brain. Okay, Super Scholars, awesome job this whole week skip counting. I can't wait for next week, as of course